What's up, Marvel Snappers? Today we're playing with the new featured location Lamentis-1. Draw 3 cards, destroy both decks. Now this location creates some pretty interesting games, and we're going to bring a really fun combo with a couple of tech cards to the games today. And that combo is going to work around the Infinaut, who's a massive 20 power for 6 energy, but you cannot play cards on the previous turn. And we're actually able to combine that with She-Hulk, who gets 1 less in cost for each unspent energy and has a massive 10 power. And so if you play Psylocke on turn 4, on turn 5, you'll have 6 energy and you can pass. And then on turn 6, you'll have a 0 cost She-Hulk and the massive 20 power of the Infinaut and can swing some games pretty heavily. We also have Arrow to combine with the She-Hulk, because if you pass on turn 5, on turn 6, you'll be able to play Arrow and She-Hulk as well, which can be a disruptive way to end the game. The combo also works with Wave, where if you play Wave on turn 5 and leave 2 energy unspent, She-Hulk will cost 2 after the wave effect is in place, and then you can also combine that with the Arrow to pull those 2 cards together in an alternative way. And something else the wave and the Psylocke let us do is actually ramp into the Leech, which is a really fun disruptive card with the particular location we're playing with. Since your opponent will have all of the cards they're going to have that game in their hand, turning off all of those abilities, especially if you can get this out on turn 4, gives you a lot of time to capitalize on the opponent's weaker hand. Another tech card we're running is Scorpion for the same reason. Once all of the cards for the game are in their hand, Scorpion gets to afflict the most with its debuff as possible, since they're not going to draw any replacement cards. Rounding out the deck, we have Sunspot to just absorb some energy, since we're passing a lot to get value out of the She-Hulk. We have Armor as a disruptive tool, same with Cosmo. They both end up disrupting a lot of the popular decks right now. We have Lizard just for 5 stats. It's a great body and kind of forces your opponent to overcommit to a location that you can then use Arrow to disrupt. Lizard's 5 power can even potentially give you priority going into turn 3, which is fantastic for the Cosmo. And Maximus also just plays really well into the location, since the opponent won't get to draw 2 cards if their deck is destroyed, or in non-Lamentis games, you can just toss this behind the Cosmo and still get to take advantage of the 7 power. With that, let's hop into some games. Alright, first up is Muriel. Nothing early to play just yet. Ooh, we can get the Sunspot rolling here now. Opponent just passed for the first 2 turns. Ooh, and Lamentis destroys the decks. So we're actually up on cards, because they weren't able to play anything early. Let's play the wave and leech them. Alright, they get an Angela down. So they have the potential to play 1 big card, but we're going to be able to She-Hulk Arrow in the coming turns. Let's snap and leech. This will protect us from a Killmonger too, because it's very unlikely they spend this turn playing a Killmonger. They play a Thor, so Thor can get pretty big, so we'll just stay out of Atlantis. And if we pass, we can She-Hulk Arrow. And we get 5 more on Sunspot. This should be a pretty clean game. Taking the abilities away from all their cards is just so powerful. All they have are stats now. Killmonger, nope. Sentinel, nope. And they do get the Molnir. But we're going to absorb 5 energy with Sunspot this turn. And then we can play She-Hulk to Lamentis and arrow whatever they were going to play to here, and we should win left and right. Yeah, and the opponent just retreats. Hard to get the max cubes after leeching, but I'll happily take these 2. Let's hop into another one. Alright, we'll stay out of Strange Academy for now. We can go Lizard Cosmo for a nice tempo advantage. Ooh, Sinister London is interesting. That could get really messy with Strange Academy. Let's not go for the tempo advantage. We have Psylocke She-Hulk. So if we can draw into the Infinite, we'll be able to put an absolutely massive amount of stats on the board as long as we have the space. So let's not fill the board. Oh, interesting. When we have the Infinite, okay. So I'm assuming there's a Killmonger in the future. They have priority, so they'll get to go off first, which is kind of why I wanted to play the Lizard here. But we want board space for what's about to come. Oh, it's Carnage, okay. Alright, and we'll be able to put 60 power on the board on the final turn. Let's snap. They can't play any powerful on reveals to Sinister London. Okay, and they play out Bucky. So yeah, thanks to Psylocke, we have 6 energy. So when we pass, She-Hulk will be 0. And we can also get the Infinite down. Alright, so they play Deathlock, which actually takes 6 power off of their board in replacement for 6 power. The opponent snapped. Well, let's see if this does it. 8 cubes on the line. I guess in case of leader, which would put the She-Hulk here, if we play her first. I think that's how the order goes. I guess we'll find out if it is leader. No, it's death. And a Killmonger. Well, and that's it, because 1 card is guaranteed to go over here, and it's going to beat the 5 power of the Killmonger. And we take Strange Academy and Sinister London, thanks to the absolute massive amount of 60 stats on the final turn. Fantastic. Great to see the combo actually come off. Let's hop into another one. Alright, first up is Mirror Dimension. We'll get the Sunspot down for now. Ooh, and because of Lumeria, we can play the Scorpion, and then if this is Lamentis, it won't trigger until next turn, so we'll still hit their whole hand. Okay, and it's Fisk Tower. So if we Psylocke, we'll be able to Leech. And then skip on 5 and play the Infinite, maybe? They Okoye, Hood, and Carnage. Oh. Well, I guess we could potentially surprise them with a Leech on the final turn. I was gonna snap, but that kind of messes with things. Yeah, I feel like this isn't gonna end up being strong enough. Oh, and they Sarah. So they only have to get 2 up on us here. But they will be anticipating the Infinite, so they'll commit something here. We can get up to 12 here and put some power over here, maybe win this by surprise. Oh, they might expect us to commit to Fisk Tower. So they might commit... Yeah, so they might commit everything here. So let's try this. Let's predict that they think we'll play the Infinite to Fisk Tower. They'll beef up here, and then we'll actually be putting a whole bunch of power here. Let's see if this works out for us. Oh, they spread wide. Okay. They Scarlet Witch to District X. They play the Demon here. And Forge, yeah, is not going to be enough. We managed to take it by actually spreading wide, thanks to the She-Hulk only costing 1 from that pass. Nice. Yeah, they were definitely playing around the Infinite and not us actually putting 18 power across 2 different locations. Let's hop into another one. Alright, first up is Murder World. Stay out of there for now. Oh, goodbye, Lizard. And they lost a Craven, so they're likely some kind of movement deck. If we Scorpion now, we can pass on 3 and play She-Hulk. Shame we didn't already have the Sunspot in play. Do we want to pass on 4? We can get the Cosmo down, play Sunspot next turn, and then pass. Okay, so they get a Vulture. Oh, and Sokovia takes our Sunspot and their Hulkbuster. If we play the Psylocke, we'll still be able to play the She-Hulk next turn, and if we top deck the Infinite, then we can actually just pass. Okay, they're gonna cloak the Vulture over. Ooh, we'll be able to Arrow She-Hulk. If we wave, because we'll pass with 3 energy. Let's do that. This is gonna get big. They have priority, so we won't move the Cosmo. Alright, I think we can do this with Arrow She-Hulk. If they Heimdall, they'll move everything here. But we'll beat Heimdall by 3, and then we beat the Cloak by a lot here. I think we're in the clear. Oh, they Magneto. Okay, that wasn't what I was anticipating. But we pull those out. And the She-Hulk is going to be enough to win here, and we end up winning Murder World and Sokovia. Nice. Victory. Just such a powerful combo, being able to play Arrow and additional power. That was great. Let's hop into another one. Alright, first up is X-Mansion. Hopefully it doesn't give us too low a roll. Not a good home for our smaller cards, and X-Mansion will be easier to fill, so let's gamble on the mystery location here. Our opponent does the same with a Bucky. Cosmo would be incredible here. No. But we can Psylocke into Leech. They'll probably get the Bucky pop before then. Yeah, they pop it immediately. Alright, we get an Angel to their Valkyrie, so ends up being even. We can play the Leech. Kind of got baited with the Psylocke, so now we can't Infinite She-Hulk, but we can She-Hulk Arrow. They debris, but they're not going to be able to clear out any of the rocks. And they're forced to play here where they're already winning. Yeah, and the opponent just retreats. The Leech definitely neutered their hand. We're just going to pass to play She-Hulk Arrow next turn, and they're forced to overcommit to the lane they're already winning. That actually ended up working out perfectly. Let's hop into another one. Alright, ooh, we start with Lamentis, and we get the worst half of our deck. We'll play this one out for now. Come on, give us priority. Yes, okay, oof. We have the worst half of our deck, but there is a chance we'll lock this Deadpool out of being able to be destroyed and protect our Sunspot from their Killmonger. Oh, okay, there's a chance. We reduce all the cards in their hand by 2. So they only have 3 cards left as well. We'll plan on waving on turn 5. So the Psylocke actually gives us... Actually, we could wave now. Although, do they have 2 big cards? Yeah, let's not risk that. The Psylocke actually is energy neutral, but +1 power. So we'll go with that for now. Okay, so they managed to buff up a Sabertooth. They probably have something to destroy the Nova and the Sabertooth. Be like a Carnage or something. Yeah, this probably still doesn't go well for us, but let's just fight over Camartage here. We'll keep the Lizard secret, and they're definitely just going to stay out of this location. Oh, and the wave will actually stop them from being able to play the Sabertooth. And so their hand is Sabertooth and something else. We gave it -2, so hopefully the Lizard is enough to come up over here. Although maybe we should have played Lizard here. Yeah, okay, the opponent just retreats. The wave was actually perfectly timed on their Sabertooth because they didn't get to take advantage of its 0 cost. And yeah, in hindsight, since they could only play 1 card, definitely should have just played Lizard to Nova Roma, but the opponent retreats, and we managed to pull it out with the worst half of our deck, thanks to Armor. Let's go. I hope you enjoyed the games and getting to see Leech in action. It was quite a lot of fun neutering our opponent's hand. It forces some retreats, but in the non-Leech games, we were still able to get a bunch of cubes. Without the featured location, you probably don't want to play Leech, since it's also a bit of bait, as it forces you to ramp into it, and then you don't have your ramp for your more impactful cards, but it was still a lot of fun. As always, if you have any questions or feedback for me, make sure to leave those in the comment section below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.